What's up, guys? It's Tyler, and today I want to talk to you about a absolutely bomb of a trade I made this past Monday when the market tanked. I banked over $10,000, and actually I was up 20 grand at one point during the trade and ended up giving all that back, and that hurt real bad. I'm going to talk about that later in the video. But before I do that, please, if you haven't yet, go and check out Mr. Bean's checklist. You can do it in the description. Go click on it. You're going to get sent a free value checklist. It's going to tell you all about value stocks. And honestly, if you're just an intraday trader or an FX trader, you don't care about value, download it anyway, guys. It's free. All you got to do is click the link. Let me pull it up right here and show you guys. Boom, here's the page. You click get it now, download. You'll thank me for it. It will expand your knowledge. You'll become better as a trader. It's going to help you in all domains, no matter if you're a value investor or not. So anyway, let's get into it. All right, so this is how the trade played out. You guys have probably been watching the market. It's gotten pretty volatile here in the last few days. And if we look at the these ES futures here, we saw they were selling off, one day after the next. Boom, boom, another sell-off, another sell-off. And that was kind of making the market nervous. And then we go into the weekend and we have all this stuff coming up with Trump talking about how, hey, he's going to put more tariffs on China, and then China is going to retaliate. And what they did was they lifted their peg on their currency. Let me pull up the Chinese currency real quick here to show you guys. Bam, here's the yuan. So you could see what happened here over the weekends and on into Monday. The thing started skyrocketing. And when the yuan currency starts skyrocketing against the dollar, things get a little sketch in the market and we get a lot of volatility. This happened in 2015 if you guys were trading around then when they had the huge crash then. Same kind of thing's playing out now. So anyway, that's just the general context of what caused this move. And let me go back to the ES futures here so you guys can look at that chart again. And on Monday, we had this huge flush. The market was down, let's see, we started 29.30, closed at 28.30. So S&P 500 was down almost 100 damn points. Pretty nutty. And I nailed this short for a massive gain. And I want to tell you guys exactly how I did it, how I come up with this trade. This is a trade I do all the time. We're going to walk through the exact details and you're going to see it play out in real time. All right, so the key things I look for in this trade, the narrative in the background is sort of what's going to make this stuff fall, but I'm more looking at technical factors on what's going to trigger a huge downfall in the market. So number one, I want the S&P above the 200-day moving average. Why do I want that? It's because if it's above the 200-day, that means that a lot of people are positioned bullish, and when the market starts to fall, there's going to be a big unwind because everyone's been betting on the trend, and so when we get a crash, it's going to be swift because everyone's going to get out at once. So that's number one. Number two, the market needs to be at least 1.5% down on the day. And the reason why is because we need this thing down hard so people start to freak out and margin calls start to get triggered and funds start to adjust their exposure. And we need a bunch of people freaking out and big funds moving their money around to get that huge flush down when we have these massive down 3%, down 4%, down 5%, down 10% days, guys. So that's why the market has to be at least down 1.5. If it's not down that much, I don't really care. I'm not even watching it. And then the last parameter is, and this is key too, is it has to be down 1.5% or right around 2 p.m. Eastern. It can't be in the morning because the market could still get bid up and saved. It has to kind of look pretty bad late day. So late day, the market's still down. It's not doing too well. And by the time we get to that late day, people start getting nervous. They want to close positions out. They want to adjust before the overnight. Because when the market's crashing, no one wants to hold full size overnight. It's a very scary thing. Margin calls could happen, etc. So those are the three things I look for in this trade. And that's what triggered on Monday. And so let's take a look at it. All right, guys. So here is UVXY. UVXY is a long volatility fund, which means when the market's going down, this puppy's going up. And so I used to do this trade by just shorting the market, shorting ES futures, but I've since changed that to going long volatility. And that's because I'd rather always be long a position than short a position. Because the beautiful thing about longs is that they gain in position size as they go for you in the trade, right? So if you buy something at 1,000 and it goes to 1,500, well, your position size is now 1,500. Whereas if you have a short and you short something at 1,000, it goes down to 800, well, your position size is a little smaller at 800. So in general, I like going long much better than going short. If you can't find a long expression and you have to short, that's fine. But for me, I know that long volatility is a better trade than short the market, and it's essentially the same payoff, right? So if the market goes down, the volatility is going to go up. especially on these big down days. So anyway, I'm gonna run through something called on demand here, and that's so we can see this trade play out live. And what this is it's a pretty cool function in Thinkorswim where you can look back and see the tape play out in real time as I was seeing it when this trade was playing out. So let's click play over here, and boom, we can see here's the market. So you can see these quotes ticking over here, and what happened was right around 13:20, so right around 1:20 Eastern, I saw the market still down around 2.6%, and volatility had kind of come down a little bit. So I thought this was a good entry point. Now, this isn't the exact algo that I use. I'm going to get into it later. I kind of cheated, I kind of fudged and broke my rules slightly here, but I have enough experience to know and anticipate when the algo is going to fire anyway. And so I preemptively entered right around in this area here at, let's call it about 1:30 Eastern. And you guys can see here, the market is down 2.6% at this time. Now let's fast forward a little bit, So it comes down here, I'm taking a little bit of heat on the trade. I'm not liking it. And then all of a sudden it starts to spike back. And when it spikes back like this, I had a little more confidence that I was going to be right. So I added to my position. I had initially 5,000 shares. I added an additional 2,500 shares. So then my full size was 7,500 shares, which is actually pretty large for something that's moving this quickly. And you guys are going to see how crazy the P&L moves around as this thing gets going. So anyway, I'm up a decent amount of money here. This thing's playing out. We retest the highs, and I'm feeling pretty good up here. I'm up a couple grand, and the position feels great. And the market's down 3% now. So this whole margin call into the close thesis is starting to look pretty nice. It's starting to play out exactly how it's planned, and I'm liking the trade. Let's fast forward a little bit more. Kind of a little more chop, boom, we break to new highs. And this is when things start to get a little squirrely. So we break to new highs here, and at this point, I'm clocking up $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 on the trade, and that's when the euphoria starts to set in, guys. So I'm trying to articulate here what emotions are like while you're trading a position live and how to manage them. And so at this point, you're feeling pretty good and you're not too stressed out yet because there hasn't been you're up in the green. It hasn't been too much give back. But as this thing plays out and keeps on going higher and higher, you start to get a little bit nervous. Like, oh, is this, for example, you can see this is starting to fall here, and you start to question, oh, is this going to pull back? Am I going to give back all my profits? If it goes all the way back down to where I started, I'm going to give back $5,000 or $6,000, and that really hurts a lot. But the key here is sticking to your process. So when the market goes against you, instead of freaking out, they're going to give back profits. Trust the system, trust the process, and just let the trade play out. So that's what I decided to do, and you can see this thing started to recover. And then boom, all of a sudden we start to almost hit this parabolic type move. And this is when extreme euphoria sets in, because up in these ranges, I'm up into the $15,000, $16,000 in the green. And this damn thing just keeps going. Boom, 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 boom. And at this point here, I was feeling extremely euphoric, extremely confident. And in general, that's typically a good time for me to start taking profits, even though I didn't, because I just wanted to hold this puppy until the close no matter what, because I wanted to have it, I wanted to be disciplined in my process. But looking back on the trade, once something goes parabolic and you get that extreme euphoria, it's usually a good time to take profits. So up at this peak here, I think the position was up around 20 grand, which is pretty incredible. I mean, since I entered this thing at 1:30 Eastern, we're talking about essentially a half an hour or an hour and a half, up $20,000 on the position. Feels pretty damn good. And then after this blow off, you can see it started to retrace big time, and I essentially gave back 10K very, very fast. So we had that euphoric blow off. I made 10K on the top of my initial 10K, and then I gave all that 10K back. And now you're starting to question things. You're like, oh, is the move over? Is this going to fall all the way back down? I'm going to lose everything. That kind of doubt comes back in. And it's crazy how quick the market can cause these emotional changes. So here, 10 minutes ago, you feel like a god, and now all of a sudden you're like, I'm questioning everything. Is my life right? What's going to happen? And that's common, and that's the monkey mind. And as traders, over time, you learn how to control those scripts. You still get them. Heck, I still get them, but you learn to try to not react to them. Let's play this out a little bit more. I'm going to bring it back to the close here. Okay, so this is right around the close. Now, unfortunately, I finally let my emotions get the best of me, and I puked out the position right around here. And that's because I thought this little consolidation was going to break down, and I really didn't want to give back my gain. I had 10K, I just wanted to take it. But you guys will see here how it plays out into the close. And had I would have held, like my system told me to hold, I would have been up much more money. Let's fast forward one more time. Boom, you guys can see into the close. I think the actual close was right here, yeah, at 37.11. And so, I got out here, and had I would have held all the way to the end, I would have made, roughly probably around another probably around $5,000 in total. Had I held here and all the way into the close, I would have had much more money on this trade. So still a killer trade. I didn't follow the process exactly, but you can go home pretty happy with a 10K profit. All right, now here's the picture of my exact executions on the platform. You can see these little green arrows are when I first entered, and I put an ad there. And then that was my shitty exit at the end while the market popped up really, really high. So overall, I always look back at all of my trades like this to see, what could I have done better? And the thing was, I did actually break my rules on both sides of the trade. So I entered a little bit early because I saw an opportune spot on this pullback. And that actually ended up helping me by entering early down here. I got a better price, but I also exited early. So, I entered early, I exited early. And had I just entered when the normal algo tells me to enter right at 2 p.m. Eastern and exited right at 2 p.m. Eastern, I actually would have made more money. So despite the fact that I had, one better than random trade here and then one error here, it still netted out to a loss for me. I should have just followed the algo. So if that's a lesson to not follow process, guys, I don't know what is. Even someone like me who's extremely experienced in this stuff, you can try to guess, you could try to play with it, but overall your little reads on the market aren't going to add too much value, so just remember that. Now I got another picture too. Here is the standing P&L of the trade. This is in trader view, and you can see how it played out. I got in, pretty much always a decent trade. This is an easy trade. I didn't have too much red to deal with. I just had to deal with a lot of givebacks. So here's when I went parabolic, and you guys can see I went from basically 10K up 10K to up 20K in essentially 5 minutes, and then initially, boom, it crashes and I gave all of it back. So that hurt. That was a massive emotional ride right there. And and those, they're hard to deal with. And really the only thing I can say about that is I don't have the data to back this up, but whenever I feel ultra euphoric, like I'm the man, like Tyler's the best trader in the world, that's usually a good time to start selling or lighting up. At least maybe sell half. So maybe going forward I can actually listen to my emotions on that side and sell. But other emotions, fear and things like that haven't really helped me. Acting out of fear hurts me, but acting out of euphoria and actually taking profits on euphoric seems to have a good effect on my trades when I go back and look at them. So even that trade was awesome. I can't be mad about that at all. I mean, who can be mad about a 10K profit in a few hours? You'd be stupid to be mad about that. The market still continued to torture me. So even though I made money on the trade, I got tortured because I gave back 10K of profit in in basically a few minutes. And then after hours, this damn thing ran up so freaking hard. Had I held into the after hours and broke rules again, just said, hey, I'm gonna hold into after hours trading, I've actually been up $54,000 in the trade, which is just absolutely insane. So let me go back to Thinkorswim here and just show you guys what happened after hours. All right, so let's move this to 20. Let's see what it looked like. And boom. So you guys can kind of see, look at this stuff. Here's where the market closed. And then this thing just went bananas after hours, just absolutely, just straight up. And that's because the market continued to tank. And it's always going to be like this, guys. So the market's going to punish you for not following your process, and it's going to punish you for following your process. And that's just, you got to get over it. And even though it's going to hurt you seeing stuff like this go your way and like, I could have been up 54 grand. I remember sitting on the bike at the gym and, slowly pedaling out and just seeing this on my phone and be like, just not feeling great. But I only let that affect me for a little bit. I got back and said, hey, I have to stay positive about everything. I have to have emotional endurance for trading. And so you can't constantly be bragging on yourself and getting mad that, you gave too much, you didn't get enough on this trade. As long as you have a process and you're sticking to your process, that's exactly what you need to be doing, and that's what gives you success. All right, guys, so that's all I have for you today. An epic 10K trade, and you guys saw the emotional ups and downs that went with it. So now before we go, let's again take a look at the beautiful, the wonderful, the absolutely amazing Value Ventures checklist. And guys, I said at the beginning of the video, please download this. It's free. It's going to help you understand value in the market. And like I said, I just talked about an intraday trade today, and this stuff, these concepts actually help me come up with trade ideas like this intraday trade. And that's because in order to find the best trades in the market, you want to have a full understanding what all the participants are thinking. So the value investors, the algo traders, the trend followers, the FX traders. If you know what these guys are thinking in their mind, you're going to be able to come up with strategies that can exploit them. So get it, download it right now. You're not going to regret it. And also, guys, make sure you subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Hit that bell. I'm going to be coming on the channel a lot more often and be doing some specialized videos. I know the last one I did on BYND, a lot of you guys liked, so I'm going to keep whipping these out. We're going to be having a lot more fun into the end of the year. I'm super excited. We're getting more guys in on macro ops. There's going to be a lot of great content. So go down, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next video.